All right, so today is a really weird day in Canada. Now, in the Bible, it says, Tho Art God, Ian. I never understood all of this just till about a while ago. And I had all these epiphanies this morning in my cornerstone apartment here, and the Ark of the Covenant that you're all looking for, you're not looking for an Ark of the Covenant. Right here, I'm going to show you right here. Right here. This is the Ark of the Covenant. There's two of us. There's me and there's Tejan. There's two of us. We're identical twins. And we're the Ark of the Covenant. And yeah, we're the Ark of the Covenant. There's two of us. There's Tejan, and then there's me. And there's me, James, King James, and then there's Tejan. And Tejan runs the lower hemisphere. Now, anytime Tejan runs the lower hemisphere from the equator down, and I run the upper hemisphere. I run the upper hemisphere of the earth, and Peter is in the middle. Yeah, and anyways, so anytime that people get paranoid or you get nervous and stuff like that, that's because you're understanding that you're angelic. When you start to get nervous, you're understanding. Like I started in the last couple of months, I started getting paranoid about the world being upside down, and I didn't realize that I can levitate. Holy shit, I can actually levitate, lift myself right off the ground. I can levitate. This is unbelievable. I know how to levitate. I know how the whole earth works. The whole earth is a big magnetic. Now, if we all didn't eat any kind of metals whatsoever, irons or anything like that, we would just lift right off the earth. We would go against. We wouldn't be grounded anymore. And we just lift right off the earth. Imagine that. Solve the problem of all the extra people on the earth? Me and Tejan solved that problem today too. And anytime you guys start feeling nervous, or you start getting nervous, paranoid, that means me and Tejan are annoyed with you people. Anytime you get scared or you get nervous, that means that God is angry. That means me and Tejan, we're not touchable. And if Harjeet, Sage, and Singh hurts Tejan, I'm going to kill Harjeet, Sage, and Singh. You're not allowed to touch Tejan. I'm not stupid. I will kill you by law if you hurt Tejan. That's not a threat. That's just an observation. Now, people are putting stuff all through the sewer systems. People are going through all kinds of craziness. Yeah, the book of Acts, the book of Facts, chapter 17, verse 23. As I passed by your devotions, I noticed this inscription that read, to the unknown God, whom therefore ignorantly worship him, declare I unto you. God that made all the heavens, the earth, doesn't dwell in temples. As if I needed temples. I come from the heavenly realm, so does Tejan. So I should have access to all those triangles, all those secret houses in the upper atmosphere, all through the Alps and all that. I should have access to all of that. I'm heavenly. I'm not earthly. Heavenly people don't marry. Heavenly people are heavenly. That's just it. Heavenly people are heavenly. Shambhala, I own Shambhala, the French Alps. I own the Pyrenees. I own everything. I am God. Yeah, I just came to that conclusion today. Holy shit, I'm actually God. Yeah. So, yeah. And basically, the harps are interfering with the angelic realms. The harps in Alaska, are not all the way, but in some of the way they're interfering with the angelic realms. And there's certain metals that we're not like aluminum, um, aluminum, forum. Yo, forum. That's right. So I have access. So, like, what I want to know, it says, and God came down and he dwelt amongst the people a while. And there you go. So I figured out the conclusion. I don't have a name. My name is God. I don't have a name. I don't have a name. The identification I have is not my identification. I don't think I have any name. I don't have a name. That's weird. Yeah, so the earth is magnetic. And if the earth wasn't magnetic, we'd all float away. And the earth doesn't spin at 17,000 miles an hour. That's also a lie. When the sun comes around, here's the moon. And here's the sun right here. And when the earth spins around once, and it takes 24 hours for the earth to completely spin around one turn. And there, henceforth, the ISS, the International Space Station that's up there, when you go around like this, it takes 24 hours to circumnavigate the Earth. I also know that. That's something that you guys are lying about on TV. Me and Tejan are really not happy about that. It says, "Thou shalt not covet." Yeah, I can't covet Emily Browning because Emily Browning belongs to Tejan. I have my own Emily, I imagine. As long as I'm not related to, I have my own person to be with, I guess. And we own the heavenly realms. We own everything. We own the base. We own all the military. Everything belongs to us. So why are everybody else in I saw that with my eye, "Thou shalt not covet." Anybody that covets or tries to harm anybody through a computer screen will be put to death immediately by I and Tejan for your behaviors. Do you think I would sit here and post something to you that I wasn't 100% sure of? Okay, so now hear my words. I know how to get rid of you all now. You might want to be afraid of me and fear me and obey me. Now those triangles, why don't I have access to those triangles? Why don't I have access to Area 51? Why are you guys lying and hiding and making covenants with aliens? We're no more meant to live in outer space than we are to live under the water. There are different Earths. There's Nibiru. There's a place called Nibiru and the Nibrus. The Negrus are Nibrus, and they're coveting. Same as the natives are coveting our earth. The North, in Scandinavia and all that, it's all white people. Why are the people white? Because there's less sun, and they need vitamin D. So why, on the other side of the hemisphere in the Yukon, are there a whole bunch of natives? Oh, I know about that as well. Coveting. Where did they come from? My guess, Indians, they probably come from Hain, a planet called Hain. And there's another planet called Orion, and that's where I'm from. Orion's belt. I came from there. It says, "He who comes after me was preferred before me, whose latches stand and I'm not even, so I come from Orion. I'm preferred before James Ian Werbisky. And I'm not James Ian Werbisky. I'm telling the Edmonton City Police this. You guys should listen to me because I'm not mentally ill. I'm telling you the truth, man. This is 100% the truth. And Staff Sergeant Steve Sharp, or whatever his name is, he knows he's sneaking underneath my apartment. There's a whole bunch of CIA stuff going on in this building and all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of strange stuff going on in this building, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do because I know I'm God. And me and Tejan, the Ark of the Covenant, the two angels, are I and Tejan, the two angels. And anytime I get anxious or Tejan get anxious, that when we start feeling paranoid, it says paranoid, like paranoid, like paranoid, everybody gone on earth, paranoid. Oh, now you people are really starting to listen to us. You ever see people do that before? Tho Art God, Ian. That's right, I am God. And you people are basically transgressing the law. There's 10 commandments. How hard is it for the police force to enforce 10 commandments? There's 10 commandments. What's the first commandment? Two shall have no gods before me. Oh, two shall have no gods before me. So why did you take my brother James Werbisky and you put him somewhere else and stuff like that, and then you guys fed me a bunch of stuff to make me forget. So I went out and I prayed like hell, and I have Reichstag buddies, and I did something that I did, which I'm not going to say what I did, to get my mind back, to make my mind sane, and now I know what happened. The military correct Ian. Correct Ian. I have 2 bullet holes in my head. That proves I was in the Army Corps. I'm a fighter pilot. I'm the best fighter pilot in the world. I hold the record for the highest speed ever achieved, the highest altitude, everything. Oh. You didn't want to say that, eh, Grandpa Donald? So why don't I have access to all of this stuff? I want access to all of this. You know, I want access to the Pyrenees. Those little cabins way up in the Alps, those beautiful monasteries and stuff. Why don't I get access? How come I don't have access to those? See, I'm angelic, just like James Muxworthy and Elijah are angelic. I'm angelic. So I'm here to teach you people and to show you people what we got to do. Now, in order to be grounded, you have to have a balance. But certain people are angelic. Certain people are angelic and some aren't. You can't sit there and pump crap through the sewer systems and then say, well, we're not doing that. But yeah, you are. And also, the microwave, the earth, okay, we have clouds all over the earth, okay? Now imagine your eyeballs all cloudy, okay? And then you hook yourself up to 120 volts and you put it right on your hands and you sit there and you're like, whoa, and what's paranoid? You got that one. You're getting electrocuted now. Paranoid. Really annoyed. So, yeah, the people, they got to learn that. See, there's opposites attract. There's negative and there's positive, right? There's negative and positive. And in electricity, you can't make an arc until it's grounded. See, you got to ground it. See? And I'm not James Ian Werbisky. I'm not James Ian Werbisky. I have James Ian Werbisky's ID. James Ian Werbisky has brown eyes. And you people can't covet. You can't try to put some alien on there to hurt me either. Harjeet Sajan Singh. I find you guilty of high treason against the crown, and I sentence you to death. You're a piece of shit. Hear my words. The army's green, not gray. I have green eyes. Try to put clones on. Hey, Sam Elliott, I saw that. You're not allowed to covet. Two shalt not covet. Now, why my uncle did not just tell Me and Tejan this when we were little. They kept us apart. They didn't tell us any of this. But yeah, the Ark of the Covenant, word up, the Ark of the Covenant is I and Tejan. And we have the power to make you all just float off the earth. We have the power to levitate everybody off the earth. We can do this. Yeah, we can also levitate if we want to. But we try to be, we're holding a medium. See, there's a crust, a mantle. It's called a mantle. There's a crust on the earth, and it's called a mantle. And you got to hold, the mantle. And everything's, you got to have a balance. It's called being in balance. It's called yin and yang. Hot and cold. Big and small. Therefore, in everything exists balance. And within balance exists harmony. And within harmony exists equilibrium. And within equilibrium, you guys see God right now. All right. So I'm not playing games with anybody here. I own the earth. Tho Art God, Ian. The both of us are God. And there's two of us. And we're getting annoyed with the states thinking you can just do whatever you want, sneaking around with bases. We're trying to protect this. We're trying to protect that. Well, then why are you making covenants with gray aliens? And making stuff like that. Two shall not make unto thee any graven image. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. Well, yeah, you don't worship coal houses. You don't worship coal and stuff like that. Well, how do we clean our guts out? That's simple. Use bentonite clay. Use clay. And God fashioned man out of the earth. With his hands, he made clay. Yes, now you people see me. Oh. Tho Art God, Ian. I am God. You're messing with my Suboxone and my Xanax. Every time I take my medication, I think strange sometimes. So try not to mess with people's stuff. You're not allowed to covet. It says, two shall not covet. Tejan's not coveting. Yes, that's right. Like I said, it's like the book of John the Baptist. James Ian Werbisky's real name is actually Jonathan Ian Werbisky. And he's John the Baptist. Oh, right. And there you go. Now, technically, my real name, I think, is James Ian McCall, and I fly fighter jets, and I'm in the military. I'm a doctor and everything. And I don't fly in the back of a fighter jet. I am the pilot. I am in control of the entire earth. So what I say, it says racketeering. What's racketeering? Racketeering is not criminal. Racketeering is when you err, when you put people out of their realms. Paranoid, right. Two shall not covet. See, he who lives by the law must also die by the law. So you got to be right. You got to be right about what you do and what you think and that. And you can't sit there and make money off making people mentally ill. That just can't happen. You can't make people mentally ill. You can't covet TV screens to give people brain cancer. And I got a message for all you people that with eyes that can harm us. We're going to make you float off our earth. They just float away. Gone. So be of good cheer. It is I. Have a good day.